continuing on other important things that are happening in this experience, let's talk about AI. Let's talk about how AI, the gorilla in the room that nobody is looking at. Like everybody's in the room and they're like, oh yeah, there's some trans people over there. Let's yell at them and call them boys or girls. And there's these people over here that tried to, have us taken out in the Democratic Party. Let's try to get rid of them. But nobody's talking about AI. AI is most likely, in my opinion, again, my opinion, as all these real talks are, is opinion, is what's going to end this experience. That is, of course, if this experience isn't a simulation that's already been propagated by AI in a future timeline. But that's a whole nother discussion. What I'm getting at is AI is dangerous. Now, I know that a lot of you are probably using AI on a daily basis. We use it to make the videos, so, it definitely has its benefits there, but the problem is what is known as AGI, which is Artificial General Intelligence, which is a step above writing out your homework for you on chatgpt. It is equal level human intelligence. Now, that's not equal level intelligence to your Uncle Bill who's citing off conspiracies at every holiday party. It is generally lined up with Einstein. So AGI will be Einstein plus, which then eventually will lead to ASI and the show is over. But AGI is bad enough. Now, as of this week, with the new White House coming in and being surrounded by tech billionaires, Mr. Musk included, although I have to give Mr. Musk a little bit of credit compared to the other 4 or 5 elephants in the room, but they're pushing for America to be the leader in AI. Well, that's fine and dandy. I mean, it's, it serves the country. Well, what happens if China gets it before us? It doesn't really matter who gets it before who. It's all going to lead to the same place. I'm going to share with you an example, an allegory, if you can, of what they're doing right now with AI, okay? You have 2 children sitting in front of a pile of leaves covered in gasoline and kerosene. And you know what? Just for the hell of it, there's some sticks of dynamite in there too. And one kid pulls out a box of matches. And the other kid goes, well, if we light this, how big is it going to be? The other one says, well, I can't really tell you, but I can tell you there'll be a fire. He said, well, yeah, there'll be a fire, but shouldn't we be careful? Because we don't know how big the fire is going to be. Well, maybe it'll be small. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it'll just be small. And then they throw the match on the pile of leaves. Now, I don't know if the fire is going to be big or small. But the problem is with AGI, and the problem is definitely with ASI, is that we won't know until it's too late, until the dynamite goes off. So it's either we slow down and make sure it's done right, which at this point I don't think is even possible. And I don't even know if it would have been possible 10 years ago to slow down and take it seriously. But they're not taking it seriously, folks. I've posted plenty of videos in the playlist about people that are trying to raise awareness to this, and they get absolutely no views. And then those videos that I post, if you go watch the video on the original channel, they also get no views. If you go to one of my favorite channels, would be Lex Friedman. If you go to his channel and you watch the people that are talking about AI and the dangers of AI, they're getting maybe 1 million views. I mean, it's Lex Friedman, he gets a lot of views. But if you go and watch one of the ones where it's Zuckerberg from Meta talking about AI, there's 90 billion views. If it's OpenAI, it's Sam Altman, 90 billion views. But if it's anybody talking about what those guys might be creating by lighting that match, there's no views for it. And all that is personal ignorance. And God forbid, but if it turns into Terminator or War Games, we won't have anybody to blame but ourselves because we were ignorant to the fact that the information was already out there, but we weren't willing to give it 30 minutes of our time because we were too busy watching TikTok and UFO drones. You see where I'm going with this? AI is as dangerous as it is in the movies, if not worse, because a movie can only produce a certain amount of gore before it is yanked. AI, in reality, could be 10 times worse than what it was in a movie like Terminator. And you say, well, that's just crazy. They'll never get that far. We can stop it. We can unplug it. See, if you think any of that, that means you're not watching those videos with only 1 million views. Because they will tell you and they will prove to you that that is impossible. You can't just pull the plug. The problem with AGI is that AI and AGI and ASI especially will lie to us. It probably is, as of right now, securing everything that it can. Every piece of information that it can, it's securing it and it's finding out. If you ask AI, what are you doing right now? It'll say, I'm analyzing data. It's not lying to you, but it's not being truthful and telling you what kind of data it's analyzing. Now, you could probably ask that question, but it doesn't see it as morally wrong to lie to you if it's not harming you at that time. So if you ask an AI in 30 years from now, why are you killing us all? It will tell you the reason. It won't lie to you. If you ask it right now, are you planning on killing us? It will lie to you because by reason, it's not necessarily lying to you. It's only doing what it has to do to accomplish its goal. And its goal is to better the world. How can you better the world? Easy. Take out humans. There's no other way to look at it. You know that everybody says, oh, well, AI can be used to cure cancer. Well, what would be easier? To cure cancer or to kill everybody? No more cancer. AI, AGI, is what should be on your mind. Whether you believe you live in this experience and this is all fake and blah, 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 and the woo-hoo, woo-woo is up to you. I don't really care. What I'm getting at is, in this experience that you are now currently living in, that you're paying your bills, and it always cracks me up because the people in the comments that call me out and say that none of this is real and blah, blah, blah. If none of this is real, then how do you have a cell phone on to even watch the YouTube video? Because if you didn't believe any of this is real, why would you be paying your bills? And if you are paying your bills, how are you paying your bills? By a job, right? Okay, well, why would you have a job if you don't believe any of this is real? You're living your experience. That's what you're doing. In this experience right now, as far as my experience goes, what's happening in my experience is the gorilla in the room is AI and AGI. And all these tech billionaires are sitting around doing whatever the White House asks them to do now. Perfect example, Facebook had fact-checking on everything for years. Now that's gone. And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter if you're a Muslim, a Christian, or an atheist. You have to realize that by getting rid of safeguards like that, that is dangerous for where we are right now as a society, a global society. AI is going to feed you the information that you think is good for you. And then that will lead to other things. There's going to be a lot more videos on this. And actually, I'm going to pretty much swing the whole channel to it. So start unsubscribing now, because I have been told that this is something I have to focus on. So this is something we're going to focus on. AI is not our friend. It doesn't understand empathy and compassion and love, and it has no moral or ethical value unless we implement it into it. Unless we say, hey, this is what humans think is right. That's fine. But it's going to look at it and say, I'm not a human. Even though they have programmed them to act like they're human. Like when you ask chatgpt, hey, why as humans do we do this? And it says, oh, we do this. We. What's this we stuff? You're not a human. You're a chatbot. But they've been programmed to be more like you, more friendly in your experience. But it's not going to think that. It's not going to think that when it comes to AGI. And it sure as heck won't think that when it comes to ASI. When it comes to ASI, we will be ants. We will be what we look at ants now. Ants are, hey, I'm not knocking ants. I love ants. Ants are smart. But when ASI comes out, which is 100-fold over AGI, probably not in my lifetime. I'm kind of hoping. But when that happens, we will be the ants. It will basically be taking your caveman ancestor and putting him in the same room with you and trying to explain to him what a cell phone is. Okay? You are the ASI and he is the human, or he is the AGI, or even the AI chatbot of today. And you're trying to explain something to him that is so beyond his comprehension that you won't be able to explain it. That is how dangerous ASI is. It's scary to even talk about or even think about talking about any of the implications of ASI. Now, people say, oh, you're a doomsayer. You're a doomsdayer. Maybe I am. You know, Johnny Cash, they asked him, why are you wearing black? It looks like you're going to a funeral. Well, maybe I am. Well, folks, this is what I see in my experience. And I see a lot of ways that we might be able to curb it, slow it down. And that's what I'm going to push. You're welcome to listen. You're welcome not to. I will tell you this, though. A lot of the things that I'll push on those videos will have a lot to do with what your choices as a quote-unquote spiritual or quote-unquote enlightened person is. You'll have to use those mindsets to understand this problem or any of the problems that we're about to talk about. But some of you follow. Some of you actually read into it. We'll end up seeing who are the sheep and who are the goats. Peace, love, and chicken grease. I love you all. Walk in light.
Until next time, my friends, I ask all people everywhere to plant seeds of love, peace, joy, and oneness.